lab that bring out to your school districts with lots of cool STEM stuff. And I'll get a little more into that whenever we talk a bit more about the STEM endorsement and your role with helping that STEM endorsement, helping the STEM labs come to life through your endorsement.
So you'll see a lot of Miss Wheat. We hope that by the time you finish your classes in August, she's Dr. Wheat. So that's our goal. And we also have Dr. Mary Rogers, and I'll let her introduce her role in this project.
Hi, everyone. I am going to be your social emotional learning contact person. And so I'll be working with the residents a little bit. There's some district coordinators for SEL and just kind of helping guide that curriculum. So I'm excited.
So I don't know if y'all know that you do have an SEL coordinator in your district. Every district in this grant has a district coordinator from central office. I see Summer Dearman is on here. Thank you. Summer's so good about always attending. And then each district has mentor teachers like you all, STEM mentors. And then each district will have one SEL coordinator that will work with the residents. And Dr. Rogers will talk to you about that a little bit later. So this STEM grant is, we're trying to really build this excitement and energy in your district and in your school for creating an environment of STEM. That's our job. All right. So why don't we start? Tandia, do you want to introduce yourself? Y'all will tell us what district, what school you're in, and what you teach.
My name is Tandia Faraci, and I'm in the Vicksburg Warren School District. I teach at Beaumar Elementary School, and I teach STEM Lab kindergarten through 6th grade.
Awesome. Welcome.
Thank you.
Katrina Goodwin.
Sorry about that. I hit the wrong button. My name is Katrina Goodwin. I teach at I'm Vicksburg Warren School District. I teach at Warren Central Intermediate School, and currently I'm teaching computer science. But I have taught STEM lab for the last, I would say, 10 to 15 years. And I'm excited about it.
That's great. We're glad to have our two Vicksburg people. We do have one candidate in Vicksburg now. So we need to get 3 more. I'll update you on that in a little while. But the mentor role in this project is going to be big because we really want you all to support the people that are going to school to learn about STEM and also support the district. I don't know how I got both Vicksburg off at the same time, but let's have Miss Jacobson.
Hey y'all, I'm Summer Jacobson. I am the gifted teacher at Roseland Park Elementary. I teach grades 2 through 6, and that's in the Picayune School District.
Awesome. All right, let's have Greenville, Miss White, and then Miss Brown.
Hey y'all, my name is Monique White. I'm the district science curriculum specialist for Greenville Public School District.
Great, welcome.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jametta Brown. I'm the district math specialist for Greenville Public School District. Excited to be on board.
Great. All right, and Megan Riley.
Hi, I'm Megan Riley. I am 5th grade science and district science coordinator for Forest County Schools.
Awesome. And the other Forest County, Miss Long.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Rhonda Long. I teach 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 8th grade science at Earl Trevelyan, which is in Forest County School District. And I have the best kids ever.
Oh, that's so awesome. I love that little school. Well, it's not little, it's kind of big.
Yeah.
That's great. Glad to have you on board. Now, I think I missed somebody. Who did I miss?
April.
April?
Hello, my name is April McCoy. I'm a Stone Middle School teacher. I teach 6th and 7th grade, Cyber 1 and Cyber 2 foundations.
Great. All right, did I miss anybody else? I'm going to Do I have any district coordinators? Ms. Dearman?
I'm Summer Dearman. I'm the district coordinator for Forest County Schools.
Okay,
So,
glad
Glad
to have you here.
Yeah.
All right, did I miss anybody else? Okay, so let me update you all on what this looks like right now. We are trying to get 32 residents, 32 students coming to William Carey in their junior year. So that is a little bit tricky to do. We are trying to find students that have just completed community college and love math and science and STEM. And those are the people that we're reaching out to. So as I go over this list, I will be very glad to help you with recruiting. We have 2 districts that are full with their 4, each district gets 4 students, and that is Stone County and Forest County. So that's awesome. You've already reached your 4. We're looking for 3 more for Vicksburg. We're looking for 1 in Hattiesburg, and I might have that one filled. Picayune, we're looking for 2, Laurel 2, and Greenville, we need 4. So we need some help recruiting Greenville people. The main thing to remember when you're recruiting is that they need to be ready to go into their junior year. And we will pay for their 2 years of education, their junior and senior year. If they're a senior, we can still take them. So we can also take transfers from Delta State, Hines, wherever. We can take them in their senior year, but they have to be ready to go in their junior year. The deal is that our money, they have to have graduated by spring of 26. So we actually have 2 years with them. And when I talked to them in a few minutes, they were selected with a minimum 3.0 GPA because this is a pretty fast-paced program. Most of the trimesters, they're going to be taking 4 classes. 3 is full-time. And so it's a little fast-paced, and it's a little going to be, some additional things for them to do, which means working with their mentor teachers. So cohort 1 is simply those students that got to start this spring. So 7 out of the 32 are already in the program and starting. And if you're in one of those districts where the 7 are, you are probably are already meeting with them using that observation form that we're going to go over in a little while. So hopefully you know who your STEM resident is, and you are already filling out that observation form. So cohort 2, these students will actually start this summer. And just to let you know, William Carey summer starts May 20th. Okay, that's a little early so we can get our 10 weeks in. And you will be starting classes May 20th. So we're going to go over that a little bit more in depth. So does anybody have any questions about their students or cohorts so far? Okay, let's move to spring visit. So Jan is not here yet, but I think you all have reached out to her. She has a spring visit scheduled for every one of you. And when Christy gets to talking, I'll let her talk about what you're going to get. We actually blew up the planetarium today so we could get a close look at it. It was a lot of fun. We're super excited. If you have any questions about your spring visit, please go back through Jan Sears. She is the one that is hosting the spreadsheet, and she'll be the one coordinating with you, even though Christy Wheat will be there on the day of your visit. But on the day of your visit, we want our resident there with you and you. So part of this goal with our residents and our mentors is to provide some flexibility so that you can be out of the classroom when we need you to spread this enthusiasm. So if you have any questions about that, go through Jan first, but Dr. Sears, I should say. On the day of your visit, it should be, we're hoping it runs like clockwork. She's working on a logistics sheet. You get to decide who you want to come to the planetarium. Are you going to do a K2 day? Are you going to get everybody in the planetarium in one day? or are you going to opt to maybe do 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade? It is strictly your decision as a district and a school. You know, which school you're going to put it in, and then the students that are going to come. We anticipate that we will be back with the planetarium at least 2 more times. So we have different shows to show them. And so this is not a one-time only thing. This is our big roadshow event. And we will be back with it, we hope, this fall and this next spring. So don't feel like you have to have everybody, but we want you to be able to make those choices. All right. Any questions so far about spring visits? I think everybody's picked a school and picked a date. So next you'll just need to decide who you want to come in that planetarium. All right, so mentors role. The mentor roles for this spring, I think it's pretty simple when I sent out that observation sheet. If you have a resident, you are to meet with them for 1 hour a week. And let me share my screen and I'll just bring up that observation form in case somebody hasn't seen it yet, or it'll just give us something to talk through. So basically I put on here 8 weeks. If you don't get 8 weeks, that is perfectly fine. But when we started this was right before spring break. And then of course we have testing. So do the best you can. This is your documentation for getting your stipend this time. So if you don't have a student yet, I would like for the 2 mentors to meet, and you can record that on this sheet also. Just record what you're talking about, maybe in preparation for your resident students. So basically, this is what you're going to have to turn in May to get your $1,000 stipend for trying to get the STEM day off the ground. So you can also put the meeting date and time. This also on here goes your visit, the planetarium visit. Okay, so be sure that is included in here. Does anybody have any questions about this observation form? This summer, we're not going to use this form. This summer, it will be, you will get your second stipend when you complete your 4 endorsement courses. And when your grades post, that's when your check will go out. Okay. Then the following year, you will get a stipend in December and in May for turning in your observation form with your resident. And I think we might have, if anybody wants to hang around after the meeting, we can clarify who your resident is. Basically, that can be worked out through your district coordinator. The students that are, or I call them residents, they also have a host teacher. And that host teacher helps them each trimester with their coursework. You are their mentor for all things related to STEM. Okay. All right, that was pretty quick. Anybody have any questions or comments?
I have a question.
Okay.
So I haven't heard anything about a planetarium visit coming
Yeah.
to
I
my.
put that to you, Summer. Sorry, we're gonna pick a date in late May for Roseland Park. Yeah, and I'll be in Picayune this week to do that.
Perfect. Okay. Just want to make
Chrissy's
sure.
got Picayune covered, so yeah, she's your contact for Picayune.
Okay, just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing anything because I can't do that. So just wanted to be sure.
Thanks for speaking up. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to turn it over to Christy to talk about the summer and your courses. If you have any questions, I can answer questions about the William Carey side, but she will be your instructor and your professor.
So before we do that, I think Monique has a question.
Okay.
I just have one. How many students can fit in the mobile planetarium at one time?
All right, I'll talk a bit about the planetarium since
Okay.
that's on my end of things. So the planetarium, it is a giant inflatable planetarium. So let's talk about the space that we need for that first. It needs to be indoors. So some schools may have a multi-purpose center or room. Some schools have maybe a gym at your school, gymnasium, but it needs to be a smooth, large surface. It inflates to about 11 feet tall, and it's about 24 feet in diameter. So when we inflated it today, it's huge. You can fit anywhere from 30 to 55 students inside of it. They'll be sitting cross-legged inside to be able to then look up at the huge dome to see the projection of the shows. And we'll have this for this particular spring visit, like Dr. Story said, we'll have multiple shows. You'll get to experience planetarium at least 3 times over the next year and a half or so. This show is going to be Starry Night, and what we're going to prepare is for our littles. If you happen to have pre-K through, say, first grade, who you're planning to have them attend, their show will last about 15-20 minutes or so. For older students, second grade and older, their show will last closer to 25-30 minutes, just to be age appropriate. When Jan sends you the logistics sheet, it's going to also have a scheduling sheet so that it will be easy for you to look at the times. We're going to put like 10 minutes between each set in each show. You'll have that. You'll just have to plug in which classes will be going when. And probably you can get, depending on your class sizes, 2 or 3 classes of students in at one time, because like I said, it does hold up to 55 students for smaller students. For probably our 5th and 6th grade and up, we'd probably keep it down to more like 30-35 students, just so they're not so crunched in like sardines. Does that help, Monique? All right.
It does, thank you.
Good. So are there other questions? I know, like I said, Jan's got some logistics of things like the space and have that in writing, so you know, like the size space that might be needed, and she'll send you that schedule so that you can start plugging it in, and you'll share that schedule with us so that when we're there conducting the shows, we'll know what order, like if you're going to have first grade, then 5th grade, and then 2nd grade, and so forth and so on. We'll know what order and the timing to do the grade appropriate shows for the students. Any other planetarium or spring visit questions while we're at it? All right, if you have something that comes up, pop it into the chat, or feel free to raise your hand, and I'll let you ask that out loud for all of us. Thank you. So let's shift and talk about the STEM endorsement. The STEM endorsement it's technically 4 classes, but they only last 5 weeks each. So between May 20th and the first part of August, you will have earned 12 hours credit, completely complimentary for being a mentor, and that 12 hours credit will yield a K-6 STEM endorsement on your Mississippi Educator license. Also, we're looking for next summer to add a 6th or 7th through 12th grade coursework endorsement that you could choose to earn as well. And like Dr. Tenori said, once grades are posted in August, that's when you will receive the other $1,000 stipend for successfully completing that coursework and that endorsement. Now let's talk about the coursework for a moment. So there are 4 courses. They're all very interconnected. They're not really separated out. We're going to talk about methods of STEM. We're going to talk through specific parts of STEM when we think about project-based learning, problem-based learning, phenomena-based learning, and your action learning project is going to be the majority of and be this kind of thread that runs through all 4 courses. And what that's going to look like is that we will do most of our work online, but there will be a few days where you will come to campus and we will be working on lesson plans. You're going to get to put your hands on these cool things that we've purchased for the STEM labs. We have 3 different STEM labs, and one of the labs is a media center lab. It's going to have things like green screen and video photography. It's going to have some photo booths. It's going to have large poster printers so that, like, if you wanted to create some posters, our virtual reality lab will have a Class VR. I don't know if any of you use Class VR at your school already, but have the Class VR goggles and lessons that you'll get to participate with. We have several different types of robotics, Ozobots, Spherobots, KaiBots that will be in the engineering lab. We also have some maker space. So we have a lot of different lab activities and things that you may not have had a chance to try at your school. Some are 3D printers, that sort of thing, that you will get to put your hands on, try, create some lesson plans for the lab, because we'll have students who will come to the lab at different times too. And so that's going to be your action learning project where you're researching some of the different items that we have in the lab, creating some plans for those. And then we'll also do a little bit of research in theory on STEM as well. So very manageable, lots of fun, lots of hands-on excitement. Like I said, a lot of what we'll do will be online, so you can do it from anywhere, and there'll just be a couple of days where we will all come together on campus to actually use the equipment and look at the equipment in the STEM labs. Dr. Tenori is going to talk about how you apply, textbooks, tuition, registration, all those things regarding those courses.
I was just going to ask, does anybody already have a STEM endorsement? Yay. Okay. I think y'all are going to really enjoy the courses. Dr. Wheat is a great instructor, and nothing to worry about. It's going to be fun. We're really here to help you just be the best you can be in your school and in your district. So anytime you see a partnership for us at William Carey, we do want you to bring your students to Hattiesburg too, to see our STEM lab. We're trying to get that open this summer. You will be part of opening that. Okay. All right. So how do I apply? So what I need you all to do, and I'll send this out in an email, I need you all to apply to William Carey. You can apply online. I am going to send a list to our financial aid people so that they may make you pay the $40 registration fee. If they do, we will reimburse you. Okay, I'm going to try to get ahead of it so that when you do register, it will not make you pay. But if it does, don't worry, we will reimburse you for that. Go ahead and apply for non-degree graduate. So you'll be taking the 12 hours this summer. When you get your grades posted at the end of July, you will be recommended by John Greer, our licensure person, and your transcript will go into your MECA account, and that's when you'll get the endorsement onto your license. Okay, this endorsement is really the K6. When we got this endorsement approved through MDE, about a year or so later, they changed it into K6 and then 712. So we thought we would split it up. Okay. How do I order textbooks? I might let Mary speak about this. She's been over our MTR for a while. About textbooks, graduate textbooks. You really only need the one STEM textbook. And I can't even tell you, I should have looked to see how much it cost. But we will pay for that also. Do you know, Christy?
Yeah, they're around $20. It's pretty expensive.
So you will have an account at the bookstore, and you can go in and order that textbook through our online bookstore, and you'll be credited to your account. So if you ever get a bill, just reach out to me in an email. Let me know which district you're with, your name, and what the problem is, and we'll get that cleared up. So you won't be paying any tuition, you won't be paying the application fee, and you won't be paying for your textbook. Hopefully it'll be a textbook that you would want to keep anyway. So as far as tuition and registration, anybody have any questions? If you want these four, well, it's just really going to be an endorsement. I would imagine we could flip this over to a master's program if you're interested. We would just have to talk about that. It would be a master's probably in elementary ed with this endorsement in STEM. Was that your question, Ms. Jacobson?
That's exactly what I was going to ask. I already know that I think I'd like to, because I don't have my master's yet. So I would love to use these credits to go towards my master's. So yeah, whoever, I'm sure you guys don't want to talk about it right now, but yeah, I would love to talk to someone about that. And
Yeah, that would be awesome. That would be 4 classes towards 10 to get your
Right.
master's. Plus, I do have another class you can take. And if you're interested in that, it is EDU 690. We're getting it on the schedule for this summer. It's going to be a second 5-week course. I don't know if anybody's heard of Globe Education, but we are now the partnering university, used to be USM, and you can take this EDU 690 towards a master's degree too. Okay, so that would be 5 out of the 10 courses that are required that you could take. And we'll pay for the 690. Okay, so we'll pay for 5 out of the 10, so you're halfway there with an MED. All right, great. Anybody have any other comments or questions?
oh, well, okay. Well, one more question about that. If that's what I already am planning on doing, you still want me to apply as a non-degree graduate?
I think for now. We can always go in the system and switch it over later. But this way you'll be on the STEM list to be paid for.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll probably, pay for these classes, then you'll be on your own for the other 5.
Perfect.
Just switch it over. Okay, now we have an SEL program coordinator, Dr. Rogers. I'm going to let her talk to you a little bit more about what this year looks like. We're real excited about this program also.
Okay, hello everyone. It looks like you're going to have an exciting year and a summer and everything. So they've got lots of great things planned for you all. Let's see. I will do I'll just talk to you about it. I have a link that I will put in the chat for you. So it's the document I'm talking about if you want to pull that up. And it's to a Google Doc, so everybody should have access to it. And okay, let's see. Do you see that in the chat?
Yes.
All right. Okay, well, the social emotional learning component is written into the grant because that was one of their requirements, because the federal government, whenever they're doing putting these grants together, they pick key areas where they find a need, right? And then they provide funding for that. So this SEL component that you're going to get with this is called Choose Love. And so it's highly recommended by all the counseling associations and that kind of thing. And so there's a quote that I found today based on research, and it said that students who are equipped to deal with problems that affect them on a personal level are better able to navigate the pressures of life. And it helps them, and it helps the adults too. So the teachers who are doing these lessons are going to gain from it too. So it's just, it's a great thing. So that there's the STEM component has in the STEM grant, there's a component where WCU was going to provide SEL programming for Choose Love as a part of the award. And so every district has an SEL coordinator. I worked with them last year, and they were super impressed with the program. They said it was easy to put out. Have any of you guys heard anything about it? Okay, great. So they really liked it. We had a high school SEL coordinator that did it with a high school group. And she said the whole class was changed with this 15-minute activity that they did. They were nicer to each other, all kinds of great things. So it's really a nice program. And so what this person will do is they were going to work with the resident to teach a lesson. So the lessons are 15 to 30 minutes each. And so ideally, it would be once a week that the resident would co-teach with the SEL coordinator or the host teacher this lesson, and they'll begin that in the fall. So what it's going to do for these to-be teachers is going to give them some actual teaching experience. They'll be able to use a lesson plan with a quick, easy, fun, and engaging lesson for the students. And so it seems like a win-win all the way around. The resident is going to have a sheet similar to Dr. Tenori's that has someone sign off that they did this, they taught this lesson. So it can be in the STEM group area, it can be with their host teacher, but I'll let Dr. Tenori and the other part of the team work out who's going to be, who's going to be in charge of that. It could be the SEL coordinator as well. Okay, so the curriculum is online and it's K-12, and I encourage you to check it out when you have a chance. And so I'm just reading from the document that I shared with you. So I just want to make sure I don't forget anything. Let's look at what it's going to look like over the course of the grant. In the very beginning, there'll be a kickoff meeting, and Dr. Tenori is going to be letting you guys know all about that. And we're going to have a virtual meeting with the founder of Choose Love, and it'll be a kickoff so you guys know what it's about. The SEL coordinators are going to be there, and residents are going to be there. And then the student will teach throughout the year, the resident will teach throughout the year. So each year at the beginning of the year, we hope to have a kickoff with that video presentation where it supports the Choose Love component. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Do you guys have any questions, or did I forget anything?
Yeah, that's a really good document with a lot of good information. Thanks for sharing that.
Thank you.
Okay. So the next thing we're going to talk about is just the summer orientation meeting. So Dr. Sears is trying to send out a form. Has anybody already heard from her about some possible dates? Okay. Ms. Dearman, you did?
We have our date, May 21st. That Tuesday.
Oh, that's for your planetarium, right? For your
Yes.
visit? Okay.
Yes.
So this is something different.
Okay.
Okay, so you're going to be getting an email, maybe Google Doc, Miss White?
No, it's for the planetarium visit.
Okay. Yeah.
We have our date as well.
Okay, so she's also going to be, she got to go to Arkansas to see this eclipse today. So I hope she got to see it. I don't know if y'all got to see it. I just watched it on TV, but it was fascinating. Love to, I don't know, Miss Wheat, maybe we can create our own shows for the planetarium. Wouldn't that be a great show?
Yes.
To focus on that. NASA, I listened to them live NASA thing. It was fabulous. They went from Mexico all the way up to New York. Every time it was an eclipse, a total eclipse, all day long. It was so much fun. Anyway, I don't know where I will be next time we have an eclipse. I understand it's depending on where you live, it's going to be a while. So this was quite remarkable. But the summer orientation is different. So the summer orientation, we would like to bring you all in July to kick off the STEM grant. So we'll kick off Choose Love. We'll have the speaker there or virtually, one or the other. We will, we're going to have some fun activities. Ms. Wheat's already planning what to bring to the big meeting room. And then we want you to be able to walk through the planetarium and just see again what your work has produced and how you can plan a field trip to bring your kids to our campus. We will give our students their laptops that they'll be getting. So it's going to be, pretty much a full day of learning about the STEM grant, meeting each other, and then planning ahead for the year. Depending on how the classes go, if there's some good projects by that time, we could have you all present some of your projects that you're working on from your coursework. I think that would be an awesome component. Don't let me forget about that. I think that'd be good. So just look for a Google Doc email from Dr. Sears. What we're looking for, because everybody starts school at a different time, we want to know your best possible dates to come to Hattiesburg for this event. Okay. We'll kick it off. You'll go back, and from then on until the next summer, you will have a visit from our STEM people, and you will not have to come to Hattiesburg. All right. We do have Greenville and Vicksburg, so we do have some people that have to travel a little bit. The other districts, I think, y'all are so close. I don't think it should be a problem, but we want to go ahead and get you that date so you can go ahead and ask off for it. Since it will be going to depend on y'all which date it's going to be, whether it's going to be before school starts or, that first week. Did you want to say something, Christy?
No, I was just going to say that Jan's going to send out a Google form for you with some possible dates, and we're just going to choose the date that the most of you say is the best date for you.
So at this point, let me just wrap it up. I will send a form out to you about how to apply. I usually just send a QR code. You just hit that QR code and go apply. I'll put a link also in case you want to apply that way. But wait a day or two and let me get the list to our financial aid office in case she can process you and you won't even be out the $40. Okay. And I do think the more I'm thinking about it, I think just register for non-degree graduate, get these 5 courses, and then we'll switch you over to the MED program. Okay. That sound good? All right. Any comments, questions from anybody?
You want me to pipe in a little bit about books?
Yeah, they're only going to be ordering 1 textbook. So what do you think is going to be the easiest way to do that?
So basically everybody sets up their own account at the bookstore. So you're going to have a credit card to set it up, because if something gets billed and it's, needs to be billed to your personal credit card, they will. But if it's a textbook, they won't. It'll be paid for by the grant. So you go online to William Carey Bookstore. You can just Google it and it'll come right up. Set up your own account. And then when you check out, it's going to look like you're paying for it. But at the very, very end, there should be a little box that says pay with student aid. And so your grant, the scholarship is your student aid. So you click that box. And so then that's how it works. Now, if the STEM classes are 5 weeks, if you're taking 5-week classes, order your book in the very beginning of the trimester, even if I don't know if that's going to be a situation for them, Dr. Tenori, is it?
It won't, because once we get this set up, I know I was even trying to think if there was an easier way since they're all just ordering 1 book. But you're going to need it by May 20th. So I think the best way to do that is to go ahead and get the bookstore account set up. I'll send you all that information. And then you can go ahead and order it. They'll deliver it to you. Or if you're in town, you can pick it up, or you can say deliver it and they'll mail it to you. If you have any issues with textbooks, let me know. But give me a couple days and let me get your name into the system, and then it should go straight to student aid. Okay. Thanks.
I do have a question about the doability of the classes this summer. So at Forest County, we start back to school in the middle of July. So you think it's totally doable for us to do these 4 or even 5 classes if we take the 690 while being full-time in school, working?
Yes, I think definitely it will be. You're looking at probably like 1 assignment per week. And these assignments are, like I said, they're going to be geared toward, like, let's say I have a list of 10 STEM lab options, right? And you're going to pick 1 for every class. So let's say you might be like, I'd really like to learn more about 3D printing. So for that class, you're going to be doing some research on 3D printing. You're going to get to come to the lab, or if you have 3D printers at your school, you can use some at your school. You're going to be creating some lesson plans, maybe researching some resources that a teacher could use with their 3D printer. And that would be like your action learning project for that particular class. Like the next course, you might say, I really want to learn more about, virtual reality, and see what students can do with virtual reality. And so that would be your research that you would conduct. And you would, just like I said, you would have about 1 assignment per week related to your chosen STEM experience that you're going to help create for you and your students, but also for other teachers.
Okay.
Yeah, so that brings up another point. If some of your districts, let's see who we've got. Yeah, basically we have 2 mentors for each district right now. So if y'all want to work together on these projects, that's fine too. Or if y'all want to have separate, then you'll end up with more projects. But we really want this to be relevant to your district and to your school. We want y'all to take these. And then I think Ms. Wheat said y'all aren't going to actually help us in the lab. Y'all will help create a project for students when they come into the lab.
Correct.
So it'll be 2 5-weeks, and then you'll take another 2 5 weeks. Now, this 690 class is it's called STEM research, biology research, and it's on mosquito counting. And your research for that project goes straight into the Globe National Database. So it's a good project for Mississippi, right? So that data you'll have an app, and the data you collect for that will go straight into that national research base. And that's also going to be the second 5 weeks, I'm sorry. And that's also, it's one of those classes that it's not like your typical class. Okay. You did a good job of explaining that, Christy. So, all right, good questions. Anybody else? Let me throw this out. Is anybody going to the Mississippi Making Connections conference? Okay, Ms. White.
I have a meeting scheduled with my principal tomorrow to talk about that. I'm really excited about the prospect of that.
Okay, here's what I'm thinking. And Christy, I'm just throwing this out the last minute. So none of us, Dr. Rogers, are you going to be around for that? It's beginning of June. Anyway, we are not going to be here for it, and we want to be represented at STEM. So Ms. Wheat has somebody that's going to run the presentation, but as mentors, you will already be in the coursework and the program for a little while if you would like to be assistants during the session. So if you do, reach out to me, I guess, if you would like to just be an assistant during the presentation. We're going to try to see if they'll let us present maybe twice. And we really want to promote our STEM endorsement and our program. And if you're going to already be there, you might as well come into that session and help the presenter. May not even have to talk much, but just be hands-on, that would be great. So let me know if you're going to attend. We'll put you on the list for that. Okay. Okay, any other comments? All right, well, thank y'all so much for